So, last week, KERRY King came out with a single, and as a publicity stunt, he decided to go ahead and bash his ex-bandmates. So of course, I made a video about it, and surprisingly, it got over 20,000 views in about 3-4 days. But even more surprisingly, I didn't really get a lot of backlash, which I totally expected. So yeah, I guess Carrie Ulrich doesn't really have a very likable persona. But I think I found one of the reasons why he is the way he is, or at the very least, things like these are not helping. So hello everybody and welcome to a new video and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything music from death metal to Queen and everything in between. So on my KERRY King video, more than anything, I was just venting about, the way he just decided to slam every other band member in Slayer, and going through all of the 450 plus comments you guys left, because of course I try to answer every comment. I actually came across some very awesome points, but one of the comments that got the most likes and seemed to sum up what everybody else was thinking was a comment that said he always seemed like the kind of guy that thinks he's way better than he actually is. And I get that big time. Now before I go out on a tangent, let me stress the fact that the only interaction I actually had with KERRY King was actually a very pleasant and okay interaction. He was definitely a cool guy. I mean, he wasn't the coolest, warmest guy in the band, and I of course was not expecting that. In fact, if anything, he seemed annoyed by the very fact that we were all there. Completely the opposite from Gary Holt, who was super happy and stoked to take pictures and chat with us and basically sign anything he was handed. And of course, a completely different person from Dave and Tom and Jeff. Now that being said, I do agree with the comment left by Shmi Grimm. Now because of the fact that this channel is as much my channel as it is your channel, one of you awesome guys left me a comment saying, "Hey Pat, did you get a chance to check out the way overpriced KERRY King signature guitar?" And I was like, no, I did not. So he was like, dude, you gotta check this out. So he sent me a link to Dean Guitars, which I didn't even know that KERRY King had moved from BC Rich, the one brand he always loved and praised, to Dean Guitars. So then of course I clicked on the link and it all started to make sense. The fact that KERRY King is so delusional about himself made sense. So check this out. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so we go onto the Dean Guitars website and then we click on artists here and we'll get to a page with a lot of cool artists. I mean, if you take a look at these guys, we definitely have some awesome guitar players like Rob Barrett from Cannibal Corpse, David Benson from Morbid Angel, Brett Michaels from Poison, very well-known people. Of course, the men, Carl Sanders from Nile, Michael Amott from Arch Enemy, Eric Peterson from Testament. But look at the top left. The top dog for this artist page is none other than KERRY King. Anyway, so let's click on this and let's see what guitars he has. So we click on this and it talks about KERRY King being who he is and stuff like that. And there's a picture of a guitar here. Okay, so then we click on Shop Signature Guitars and we get directed to this page. KERRY King series, and we have this sort of a V-shaped guitar. And then we have 3 guitars to choose from. Obviously, with it being the guitar on the picture and the one in the middle, I immediately clicked on this guy here, which says KERRY King V Black Satin with case. And much to my surprise, this guitar is only retailing for $14.99, which is definitely not a bad price for a USA made guitar. It comes with a hard shell case, it looks good enough, it's got an unfinished neck, it's got Grover tuners, it's got the awesome KERRY King signature Kaler bridge on it. Of course, it's got a variation of that awful looking Dean headstock, ugly inlays, and of course, it is a King V shaped guitar sort of with those weird hooks at the end of it. But I mean, $14.99 is not bad for a USA made guitar, except it is not a USA made guitar. It is made in Indonesia, and even though it does come with the EMG 8185 with a preamp and the neck through body construction and of course the ebony fretboard, it still feels a little bit too expensive for an Indonesian made guitar. But then again, it does come with a case and it does come with a lot of very cool features. At $14.99 and it being Indonesian, this was definitely not the guitar that comment was referring to. So I decided to go check out the other guitars. So we go back here and this one says USA KERRY King Overlord Dark Gray. Alright, so let's click on that and let's see how much that guitar is. Now, as far as the look goes, it's very subjective. I do kind of like the inlays, but the body of it is just not for me. I'm not a fan. But take a look at this price tag here, $6,500 for this guitar. That is ridiculous. Who's gonna pay $6,500 for a KERRY King signature guitar? I mean, seriously, I have a hard enough time thinking about anybody paying that kind of money for anybody's signature guitar. And I'm talking Jimi Hendrix, David Gilmour, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or if you want to talk metal, Hetfield, Mustaine, Hammett. None of those signature guitars go for this much money. And some of those are Gibson or Fender custom shop guitars. Hell, even if we talk about Brian May Red Special replica guitars, they don't go for this much money. And those are one-of-a-kind guitars. I mean, everything has to be made for that guitar specifically. So what makes this guitar that much money? Let's check the specs. Okay, so we get fiber optic LED side dots. Okay. There's other guitars with that for a lot less money, and we're talking LEDs, which is a very affordable technology anyway. Okay, mahogany body, which is pretty standard, a maple top, a bevel contour body, 3-piece maple, 24 frets, set neck, ebony fretboard, Floyd Rose nut, Grover tuners, the Kaler KFK signature bridge, the Sustainiac neck pickup, which is a really cool pickup, but again, not that expensive. And then on the bridge, a regular EMG 81 with a PA2 preamp booster. There's no binding on it, made in USA, and there's a couple of switches and stuff like that. It comes with a hard shell case, but other than that, nothing that would say $6,500 for me anyway. Hell, I remember selling Gibson limited edition guitars with certificates of authenticity and hand-signed artist signature guitars for less than this. So yeah, maybe things like these are really hurting KERRY King's self-awareness. But that's not it. There's something even worse. So I decided to go back to this page and check out the third guitar and last, because you know, it looked a little bit different from this guy here, and it says USA on it, and it does have that god-awful graphic on it. USA KERRY King V limited edition 50 piece. So I figured, you know, the price is probably going to be in between these two guitars. You know, between the prices of the KERRY King Indonesian made guitar and the USA King Overlord. It is a limited edition. Let's see how much it's going for. And
OMG,
$8,666 for this god-awful guitar. What are they thinking? That's a ridiculous price for this guitar. No wonder KERRY King thinks he's the most valued guitar player to ever walk the earth. I mean, seriously, look at it. $8,600? Why? I mean, let's see what comes with it. Okay, so you get the same hard shell case, but at least this time around, you seem to get a certificate of authenticity that's actually signed by the guy. I mean, I guess you're paying for that, because other than that, the production of this guitar cannot be more money than the production on the King Overlord guitar. But paying $2,000 for a signature on a guitar? This is leather bound, I guess. It looks like a big ass wallet, to be honest. That's kind of cool. You get a wooden truss rod cover, the same awful headstock on the Deans, jumbo frets, the Sustainiac in 81, you got shitload of switches, the Kaler signature guitar trim, again neck through body, that's good. I don't care for the inlays, to be honest. That awful graphic there, but I mean, that's subjective. You can like it or hate it. It doesn't really add value to the guitar. And you do get the LED side dots, which are not shown on the pictures here, but you do get them. I am without words, to be honest. I can't believe they're asking that much money for that guitar. But then again, that's probably why they only made 50 pieces of this and they still have stock of them. So yeah, I guess the guys at Dean Guitars are the biggest KERRY King fans ever. Other than that, even if I try, I can't justify the pricing on these guitars. Anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you because I mean, I found it really interesting and it actually might be one of the reasons why KERRY King is so delusional at this point. But then again, looking at the comments and thinking back, he's always been this way. So yeah, take it or leave it. For better or worse, that's KERRY King for you. I just really hope that there's a lot more input from the other band members on this album than what they've shown on the Idle Hands single. Anyway guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop me a like if you did. Drop me a comment in the comment section down below because you know I'm going to read them all and reply to you. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet. And if you enjoy the content and you want to help support the channel big time, please consider becoming a patron to the channel. A little goes a long way and we surely do appreciate it. And if you've got a minute or two, check out one of these two videos. I'll see you guys next time. Pat out, metal on, dudes.